I don't blame people for not knowing about Louis XIV, but it is impossible really to do this play without being aware of his power and his presence. And 1 year before this play was written, in 1673, Louis XIV appeared on horseback at the Battle of Maastricht, which was a huge success. And from that moment, the power of France in Europe, which is to say, at that time, the civilized world, was established. And the sovereignty of France was mirrored in the sovereignty of its monarch. After all, there was no other. England had just forced its king to abdicate. Holland had been defeated very cruelly at Maastricht and was struggling to create itself as a nation state. Peter the Great in Russia was trying to drag his country into the modern age. There were wars between Sweden and Norway. Spain was governed by somebody who was very weak and with a very weak empire, and Austria was governed by an idiot. So there was Louis XIV, and it was at this time that the words la gloire, glory, began to be used in France and for the king. The French have never got over it, by the way. Charles de Gaulle used to refer to himself as the personification of la gloire. But for those 30 years, until they were defeated in the War of the Spanish Succession by the English, by the great Duke Marlborough, France was supreme, and Louis was the personification of that supremacy. So at the first performance of this play, and Moliere only performed in it 4 times, after the 4th performance he died. But at the first performance in honor of Louis XIV and his great victory at Maastricht, the play opens with a homage to the king. We've restored that. We've restored that musically from the Charpentier and by the action.